Hello racing fans, and a warm welcome to Trackside, proudly brought to you by World Sports Betting. Bet with the best, bet with WSB. I trust that you're well and you're having a fair week. There's lots to look forward to this weekend. Local racing, it's a double header on Saturday. We race at Kenilworth and Turfentine. Some feature race action at both centres as well, and then we move along to Scottsville on Sunday. I've got 5 horses that I like for the weekend, 2 at Turfentine, 2 at Kenilworth, and 1 at Scottsville. So there will be 2 trebles as always up on the World Sports Betting menu. So where we go with the 5 horses for the weekend, and it'll begin quite early at Turfentine on Saturday, and in fact comes up in race number 2. And it's the obvious horse after a promising debut run. The horse's name is Munchkin, number 11. In race number 2, trained by Lucky Hudalakis, and that man, Samanga Kumala, will be up as he was first time out. And the son of Rafif, there was plenty of talk about for him. The betting support was there to match, and he looked like at one stage down the lane at Turfentine that he was going to go on and win it. He actually moved up strongly. He showed pace and speed throughout, but he found one better on the day, and he was beaten by a big outsider horse that was unfancied, under the radar from the Cornet Speed stable. Usually the speciality with these young horses, these horses that are debuting, they usually find betting support if they're showing anything back home. So this one called Clan the Conqueror slipped under the radar at any price. 100 to 1 was quoted on the day, and the horse came to get the better of the followers of this horse called Munchkin. Now that form line has already produced a winner, 1 runner, 1 winner. It was Sylvan Theatre from the Mike de Kock stable that has come out to win. So it's a form line that we could follow in future. A strong field, 11 Munchkin found himself in. A competitive field first time out, and whilst he was beaten by a big outsider, all he could do was put in a very good debut run. And that run would have brought him on tremendously. It's amazing how a race can bring a horse on, and I think this could be the case for Munchkin. We know that the fact that there was money for him, there was talk for him, that he's a horse that's showing something back home, and just with natural improvement from one run to the next, I think it'll be very hard to beat. I think you can get off to a flying start here. Race number 2, horse number 11, Munchkin. Then the other horse at Turfentine, we're sticking with that centre, comes up in race number 6. Now this is a fillies and mares 72 divided handicap over 1600 meters. And this horse, Rennie from the Brett Crawford stable, well, have a look at this daughter of Gimme the Green Light. She had 2 runs down in Cape Town. They weren't bad runs, but her move to the high felt, wow. She just loved the move. She won the maiden over 1200 meters impressively. But what was even more impressive about this filly was last time out when they stepped up to 1400 meters in a C division class. Yes, she had a galloping weight of 54.5 on her back, but just the way she got the job done. She was given a patient ride by Craig Zaki, but when asked for an effort, that was it. She won with authority. She won going away. She won by a margin of 5 lengths. And she made the opposition look ordinary. Well, the handicapper did have a good look at that and pushed her up now. What's she racing off? An 86 from a 78. So it's going to be tougher for her to reel off the hat-trick, but I think that it's a smart move from the yard. Last time out I mentioned it was a C division company where the average rating was a 74. So they're putting some weight on her back, but they're dropping her in class. It's now a D division class with a merit rating of 71. So while she carries 60 kgs, personally I think her last race was far more competitive than she made this time around. And now going over the extra 200 meters, which is actually going to suit her much better. Having watched that last start, you'd have seen the way she quickened over 7 furlongs. I think 1600 meters is going to be upper alley and going to suit her much better than the 1400 did last time out, and I think she'll have every chance of making it 3 on the bounce. On inspection of the opposition, there is some form to go around, but I think this is the type of filly that could be ahead of the handicapper, this 3-year-old daughter of Gimme the Green Light, and we're going to go in confidently with her in race number 6, horse number 1, Rennie. Then the 2 horses at Kenilworth on Saturday as well. There are a few runners that I like on Kenilworth, but I've picked out these two horses. One comes up in race number 5, and it's Sarki, number 6, daughter of Dynasty. Now, she was any price on debut. The form guide that I'm using got her at 40 to 1, and what an absolute blinder she ran first time out. At any price, nothing was expected, and they would have been over the moon with that run. That's the Andre Nel Platinum combination. Grant van Niekerk will jump aboard this time round. She was second behind a horse that came into the race with experience, having had 2 seconds, called Red Sash, and she made a race of it. She wasn't too far behind the winner. It was under a length that she found herself beaten by over that 1200 meter trip at Kenilworth. And having watched that race, I'm not surprised that they're actually putting her over 1400 meters this time round. There is some opposition in the race, but I went through the form lines of the opposition, and I'm not entirely convinced, because their form lines haven't held up. And I think with natural improvement from run 1 to run 2, the horse that's only had the 1 start compared to others that have had their chances to date, I think she'll be very hard to beat here. Race number 5, Sarki. And she's a banker and everything, and I'm very confident that it'll take a very good horse to beat her on the day, if anything, here in race number 5. One more at Kenilworth, which comes up in the lucky last. Now, horses, early on in their careers, they start to catch the imagination if they show anything above average, or the ability. And I think Champion Warrior's got a champion name, the son of Twice Over. And he's just done everything right to date from the Brett Crawford stable. Both his wins have been at Durbanville over 1250 meters, and both have been sensible victories. Just the way he races. He gets into the race, he sits up with the early pace and speed. Not in front, he just sits off them. And then when asked to run, and they give him the go-ahead, both those runs, he's come through with good finishes. And the way he won last time out, I think that race kept me very interested in where they're going to place him next time out, because it was a dominant performance from him over 1250 meters at Durbanville, a tighter course than Kenilworth is, and 1400 meters, well, that's going to suit him ideally. He's drawn 7 out of 11 runners that at the time of recording the show. I think again, Cabela Matsanyana will partner him for the first time. Louis Mkotla is on suspension. He's not riding on the day, but an able replacement in Cabela Matsanyana, who's having a wonderful season. He'll partner this individual, and I think the instructions will be simple. Give him a chance from the draw, let him use his early stride, get a nice position turning into the straight. The 1400 meter trip is going to be no problem for him. And we'll see if he can make it 3 on the bounce. I suspect that if he wins this, they could be thinking about entering him for the Guineas as well, because he looks like an above average short. He's not going to retire, 2-time winner. And I think number 7, Champion Warrior. We speak about horses catching the imagination. Well, he's now jumped up to a 94 after both those wins, and there could be more to come from him. Race 9, number 7, Champion Warrior. I'm quite confident that we've got 2 bankers in that pick 6 as well. Sarki in race number 5 and race number 9, Champion Warrior. And then on to the one horse that I've singled out at Scottsville on a Sunday, just like the one horse that comes up in race number 4, and it is a maiden plate over 1200 meters. Now, Rugger Bugger is the horse's name, son of Water Winter, from a very informed stable of Wendy Whitehead. Debuted at Greyville over 1000 meters. Never easy going around the turn in your career for the first time, and he was just given a nice, let's call it an educational run by Calvin Habib. Just the way he rode him, he had a good position, but the horse wasn't, as alert that they wanted him to be, I suspect, on debut. So he found himself towards the back of the field, turning into the straight. And when he got his mind on the job, which was over the final 300 meters or so, he did finish as the fastest finisher behind Tribute to You. Now that run would have brought him on. He now goes 1200 meters down the straight, and again, with natural improvement to come, the way the stable is going, and the fact that Ice Kingdom has come to announce that form line midweek from the Paul Lafferty stable, I think that this horse looks promising, number 12, Rugger Bugger. Yeah, there is form, but I think the most scope goes to this horse, Rugger Bugger, and whatever beats him wins. And I'm quite confident that if any of our trebles are running on the day, going into this horse in race number 4 on Sunday at Scottsville, he'll win. Number 12, Rugger Bugger, in race number 4. So you got the 5 runners. 2 trebles will be up on the World Sports Betting menu. There's some feature races to look forward to, and I'm just having a look at this card at Kenilworth. Well, some exciting horses making their return, one of them being Cometidang, a follower of many, will take his place in that Banshee Bay Stakes over 1200 meters, where it looks like Rio Carrari, if anything near ready, could possibly put that race to bed. And of course the return of Universal as well. There was an exciting horse, but he's been off for some time. We'll see how those horses come up. And that feature there is the Cape Fillies Championship, which is a Group 2 over 1400 meters, attracted a quality field there as well. That's race number 8. And then at Turfentine, there's a feature race as well. I just want to go through that quickly. That feature race comes up Turfentine. I've got, no, that is Sunday. I just want to look at Turfentine. Yeah, Turfentine's got that feature race as well, which is also for the fillies. I think it is one of the latter races on the card. I just want to make sure. Yeah, it is race number 7. It is the Fillies Mile. It's a Group 3, and that's attracted a quality field as well. Well, I think that is a really nice race to look forward to on Saturday at Turfentine, which is race number 7. But all that is happening this weekend, and I hope that you find all the winners and have a wonderful weekend wherever you're playing. And as always, on behalf of World Sports Betting, thanks to all the punters, but more importantly and more especially, thanks to you, the valued customer. Until next week's episode of Trackside, you take care. Salani Gamashe.